You would think we were just on Mirage, the way that Luminosity was seemingly in the server, but maybe they weren't. Something like that. Maybe like my analyst, just a little absent. Or wait, no. There we go. Boom. All right. So we're going into train. We've got two more with these teams, or excuse me, one more with these teams. And honestly, if it's anything like the last one, we're gonna have a quick one. Yeah,
I mean, if Luminosity they don't want to play pro CS, then they shouldn't be in the server.
Yeah, I mean, that was sad to watch. I don't want to keep, mulling over that point. I think we can see better from them. I do still think Cloud9 will take this map. They're just the better team in general. But I think it'll be a little closer. I don't think a 16-2 route will happen again.
Yeah, we've seen Yell come out pretty hot in this map. Watch out for his train by the back alleys, 6 lane or whatever like that.
He had some combat opping going on the other day, too, in the sandwich area, right? Pulling out a little bit of the Fallen.
Took up some notes of the Brazilian father.
Gabriel Toledo.
Yeah.
What a name.
Well, first map left us in a 16-2 score line there. In the wake of that, going into train, what can we expect to be the most impactful parts of a Cloud9 looking at this, at least?
Most impactful part of Cloud9, so it depends on if they start CT side. Stewie's always that inner anchor, and he does a super good job of that. He does have some tendencies, so if Luminosity were to study that, they could exploit it, maybe, if they can get past his insane aim. Also, Skadoodle has been opping ridiculously well in this map lately, and then Rush and Tarek usually team up near that sandwich E-box bomb train area. I think Tim is the opener on T side most of the time, so those are kind of the strong points of first C9 here.
I agree with him. He said it right on the money.
Hey, right on the money.
C9 analyst.
Don't dilute the point, right?
Yeah,
well,
not going to.
We focused on what Cloud9 could potentially have the most impact with. Let's switch the page a little bit. Let's talk about what LG can hope to have go their way early on within this game.
I think Luminosity needs to not play so sloppy. They got to really take kind of a different angle. They were just really slow. They didn't toss utility when obviously C9 was probably pushing them or being aggressive. And I would like to see, just better timing.
It's just more mature CS, right? It's just like I want to see more of a mature approach, right? If you're going to go fast, have a reason. If you're going to go slow, do it thoroughly. Right? It seems like when they wanted to go fast, the reason was not there. And when they wanted to go slow, they didn't have like the development to even do it. All right, so both tempos were not there for Luminosity. Hopefully the lights will turn on here for them soon.
I mean, it kind of has to, right? So hopefully they've woken up from that first map. They've gotten the jitters out of the way. They've gotten whatever they've needed to warm up. But looking at, we've talked about ops. We've talked about what Stewie can do within bomb sites. But ultimately, what's going to favor this Luminosity side more so in terms of attack and their approach on their T side?
So what could favor them? I think SHZ needs to help activate Cello and Nekaz, right? Because those are the two young stars. They're the two who are going to be most psychologically affected by their recent routes from Cloud9, right? If you're a new guy in Pro League and you've gotten owned by C9 the last like 5 maps you've played against them, then you're probably not feeling too good. So you need something extra from your IGL and something extra from the more experienced players on your team to help you get past that. And I think if that happens, then all 5 LG guys can be firing, and then at that point they have a chance.
Yeah.
Well, give me just a quick prediction before we tie into the Betway odds here. We'll start with you, Eric.
Luminosity, we've seen them do really well on train, but they played so bad in Inferno. I don't know if they could just completely 180 like they did, so I have to go with C9. I'm sorry.
I mean, I hate giving exact score line predictions. I think it's going to be somewhere in the realm of 16-6 to 16-9.
16-6, 16-9.
Something around there.
Let's find out if the Betway odds at home agree with our esteemed colleagues here on the desk. And it would appear as though they really haven't fluctuated from the first.
What do I always say when it's like that? I say it's palindromic.
Palindromic. Explain.
I just like that. Like, a word that's the same backwards as forwards, right? The odds 1-3.
Like race car.
3-3-1.
Race car.
Race car.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Banana hammock.
The more you know.
That's not a palindrome, but
yeah.
How do you go from race car to banana hammock? I want to know what's in your head.
I don't know. I just go with things,
Well, banana hammock, I think that's where our commentators are. If not, it's just Blue and Launders. Either way, guys, are you ready to take the leads here on train?
I would hope so. I have one too. Taco Cat.
Ooh. Wasn't there a longer one that's like a man, a plan, Panama or something like that.
Enema?
No, I'll look it up.
That's where they put the thing in your butt, right?
Outstanding, and I will leave you with that one. Launders, go ahead and take it from here.
All right, thank you very much, Stunna. Yes, it's going to be trained for our second map here. Statistically speaking, the best map for Luminosity at the moment if we include online results. But for Cloud9, they've also had some pretty impressive results on this map recently, beating, let me see here, managing to beat G2 and Navi at recent lands on this map as well. So kind of goes both ways. And considering the performance from the last map, I feel like Cloud9 still has the advantage going into train now.
Definitely the map plays a factor. I think that Cloud9 are still way better at train than Luminosity are at train, even though they've had some recent results on it. Like I think before today, if you looked at Luminosity's Inferno, you'd say, oh, maybe they have a chance versus most teams. They actually played Inferno quite a bit. There were some close maps with Liquid, with SK even on Inferno. And then here it just looked like a totally worse team. So I think Cloud9 are really, really on point right now, and their train is solid. So I think on CT side, the exploitable weaknesses for Cloud9 that I know from recent memory are that they play a little bit too passively. They don't always take control of Ivy, but sometimes we see Stewie playing that role, going all the way down with his op, which is really good to see, and getting aggressive when he needs to, and also changing up. And I think Stewie's the man they use on CT side to make the super aggressive play with the op. Skoodoodle's really not that guy. And I think that adds that extra layer that they need to be tier 1 competition on CT side of train.
Well, we're diving into it now. Cloud9 are going to be starting off on the T side. So we'll have to see how LG can form up on defense here. At the very least, they get the advantage side to start things off, and maybe they can build on that a little bit here, and we can see a better scoreline from them on this map here. But it's going to be slower from Cloud9, as they do send a majority of their players into Whitehalls to start it off, but there is the possibility of going outer too, so they keep a few players out by like T-Con and whatnot. The one player that hides over here at the edge of box halls, Yell, is going to get challenged early on. He loses about a third of his HP and does have to end up backing away from the situation. He'll still hang out at upper, however. He's not going to completely back off from it. So now he can quickly peek back in when these smokes start to deploy and really tell for sure if this is going to be an inner or an outer hit and sort of justify the 4-man stack on outer right now, which is exactly what he's going to do. We can see the peek. So these guys won't be cheating the rotates at all. Luminosity will to be here to defend it. Stewie walking in, but there's nothing to find, and he ends up a little bit confused there. Automatic helps out with it now that he's got the intel from his teammate, and as they push back in, it's all for the most part Cloud9 kills. Nekez does trade for one more here, but oh, Rush. Just getting that pixel headshot there on a Nekez. I'm not even sure if he was expecting to get that there. Yell now left alone, and he's already injured in a 1v3. Things are not looking good for him. Cloud9 get themselves off to a good start, and as long as they don't mess up here, they should be able to control the pistol. Just a matter of finding Yell into a good spot here. They know exactly where he is already. He's going to make the last-ditch push forward. Nice headshot from him. Let's get it right on cue. Comes up from behind and takes him out, giving Cloud9 that pistol.
The one interesting observation, I think, from this round is that apart from the actual A execute, which went pretty swimmingly considering all these trades at the back of the bomb train, if we see how long it took Yell to come back from inner, he actually went on the big flank. But because they went and peeked him early on in the rounds, he delayed that big flank for so long because he was worried that maybe it's going to be a B fake. So that played a huge part, and it was a bit of a risk having to peek him, but because they did it together and ultimately just traded a little bit of damage, worked heavily in Cloud9's favor. Round 2, a mixed buy for pretty much both teams. PKL going to be picking up the scout. I think very important to have the scout in the back lanes, taking shots at different players who rifle up. Nekez, I think, was he looking at radar or something? Completely asleep at the wheel for a moment. But it's important to have the op do that 70 to 80 damage to players, and then have pistols go out and look for people to finish off.
Quiet from Cloud9, though, even considering they did get that first entry kill onto Nekez.
It's too quiet, Mock-ass.
All their players are going to be spread out across the map, essentially lined up for an outer default currently. We see no sign of any action just yet. Looks like we might see Ivy get pushed first as the smoke broils in. Luminosity have no presence established at Ivy at all. They do have players waiting in the back halls, though, in the event that they try to swing towards inner. In fact, Luminosity are expecting an inner hit currently. With the smoke coming on the other side, that might avert some of their conceptions about the way that this round is going to play out. And we can see Stewie just walking right into what is essentially an open site, except for Cello hiding out at the old bomb tunnel. Stewie's going to continue that walk, and I hope he checks to his left first. Oh my goodness, no way did this just happen. Well, I love how Stewie doesn't even like miss a beat there. He like his teammate kills a guy that he realizes is right behind him. He just keeps on walking anyway. Oh, a little bit of another awkward spot. As Yell is going to get pushed back here now. And Skidoo's going to look for him. Is he somewhere around here? There he is. There we go. Taking him down, and now just Showtime left alive. As he was able to get that kill on a Tarek, but obviously in this 1v4, he's not going to be doing much else. It's Cloud9 that do walk onto the site and get an easy round here, 2-0.
Yeah, sometimes it's a good decision to walk. Sometimes it's a bit risky. In the circumstance, we see it pay off. But it all started with getting that opening kill as well, which means that with the forces of the CTs thinned, walking up, staying grouped will be that much more powerful. And yeah, pretty careful, patient game. Probably wouldn't have hurt either way to use a couple extra nades, but yeah, funny to see Cello and Stewie just pass each other like that. Round 3, the buy-up is going to consist of just a UMP and armor for Showtime. I guess, did he recycle that?
That was all Tarek from the last one.
Okay.
So he's going to be carrying that into this round too, and the CZ I think was also on his body. So they're just trading pistols.
Wow.
What was that? That was mid-air. And he comes back down, digs him twice too. That's the craziest part about it. Rush is going to completely turn that all around though. He goes headhunting, gets himself 3 quick kills, and still wins the round for Cloud9. But what an impressive kill from Nekaz.
Bro, were both shots in the air?
That's the real question.
He flew off the ladder. Definitely the first one.
Is this it? Oh no, this is going to be the rush.
Oh, we're watching this weak-ass 3K from Rudd. Spinning around like a noob. But there were some head-armored opponents that he killed, so that's important. Scoodle with the weird-ass bunny hop. Decon.
Yeah, that doesn't end up going so well. So, wow, this is actually a meltdown at the moment for LG. Nekaz is also set up to counter this Ivy play. Ooh. Nekaz, for Yell, excuse me, he's going to end up getting hit pretty heavily here by Stewie, who now picks up the op. Tarek moving in, and Automatic getting a second kill too. So now we're even again. Automatic's heavily injured, however, so not necessarily even just yet. Cloud9 will end up actually pulling the bomb out of the site after that take happens. I'm curious as to where this is going to go now. Are they going to try to split inner?
This is where the mid-rounding begins. They are not going to commit to either site, but they have a great split. Suddenly in the 3v3, Tarek finds a kill. This is would be more than a tragedy for them to lose. Cello, whew, that was close. But yeah, the bomb is going inner, and they have an Ivy flank with low HP. This is perfect situation for Stewie. He's got an op as well. He's got the site for more than 10 seconds. I mean, he can get to any place he wants to. He's already got the best afterplant spot, and there's an extra terrorist out here in Automatic to go and look and shoot someone in the back.
He's got to check Z right now, though, as otherwise they're going to...
Oh my god.
So that happens. Automatic getting the most awkward kill I've ever seen on the Cello, and now just PKL left alive. PKL will beat him, but obviously there's no time remaining to find Stewie and defuse that bomb, so he's going to back out Ivy, just sit in the area over here and save. Cloud9, nice mid-round maneuver from Stewie to go inner, and that's going to secure the round for them as they also take the first gun round.
Wow. Played to perfection. And that all came off of the back of just opening up Ivy with those 2 people. And, geez, this is so funny. He sees it, but he's got his knife out.
That's that moment that he knew he was dead right there. Sees his opponent switching guns over. He doesn't even realize it at first. Just do the double take.
But they totally fell for the lurk, right? Even if they went for it, he would have been able to walk up into Z, kill someone for sure. PKL opping. He must have just had a surplus of money. Oh, he actually saved the gun from last round. So yeah, that's a really sad round, I want to say, for Luminosity, because they held outside really well, and then at Ivy just got busted open, so it was a 3v3 suddenly. 2 trades unaccounted for as Yell dies with the op and another one in Ivy. And from there, they still have a chance to win, but that's where Cloud9 really played the 3v3 well.
Showtime. Oh, wow. He's able to... This is a weird game so far with the kills that keep happening here. Automatic will trade back a kill outside. So the inner kills, unfortunately, aren't going to mean much just yet. Unless we can see Showtime now push in and also find effectiveness from within the site. Automatic has a great lurk going here. He's going to be able to walk right at the Cello to take him down. Nekaz is already low, so unless he gets a good angle against Automatic or someone else, high chance of him going down without a response too, and that's exactly what we'll see. Now, just Showtime and PKL. You'll remember, though, the PKL does have the op for the last round. He's got to get into a position where he can use it, and that's the big problem for him currently.
So that's the value of trigger control, is just taking an inventory of the players that you find, sharing that, and communicating that with your teammates, not always shooting right when you have them, because if a player's in a spot and they're holding it and they think they're not spotted, that spot is useless, but they don't realize it. So it's kind of like when you get shadow banned on Reddit or something, you know? Like you're there thinking you're having some input, but in reality, you're doing nothing. You're holding an angle. No one's ever going to peek. Almost certainly get shot in the back.
So 5-0 now for Cloud9. Full control has been established by them so far. Money Nut shouldn't be too out of control just yet, so Luminosity can still bounce back with 1 or 2 round victories, and they are getting onto their second gun round now. So hope for them to impact as they also upgrade to a double op setup now. So they have full effect of his bot up here right now. 2 ops. Decent utility for most players. Cloud9 respect that. They're just going to sit back early on here. We can even see the 2 guys inside of T-Con, making sure that no one from LG does that aggressive push up the train. And then just making noise towards inner too.
There's no Ivy control from Cloud9. Luminosity aren't peeking it either. And they have 2 ops. So they're really relying on a passive hold, and they're expecting Cloud9 to kind of just walk into their crosshairs. That might actually happen. There's no smokes left for Cloud9, so the execute comes out, but it's relatively dry, relying heavily on the flashes to make moves. Oh, the smokes have already been released.
They're going to end up walking over a lot of Molotov damage here, too, as they move in. But nobody watching that front train lurk again here. So Stewie just walked right up. Automatic did it last round, too. Stewie moving in. He hasn't seen the player at heaven, but a quick adjustment takes him out. Yell getting this 1 kill, but Stewie just going off right now, killing 3 players, finding all of that impact, too. Cloud9 was actually in a bit of a pinch before Stewie managed to complete that lurk, but now that he's done it, it's set Yell up for just a 1v3 that's nigh impossible. And it looks like he's already given up. He's going to back out Ivy and, again, call for the save that PKL did just a few rounds back. Cloud9 win a second gun round here and continue to go up. Now 6-0 over LG.
Stewie is just so good in those moments. He just has like he's like an AOE attack that you just drop in the middle of a server, and he's gonna kill. He's gonna hit 3 people, no matter what. It's like Tide Hunter's ult or something.
No, yeah, that finds some great effectiveness there, and like I said before, that's becoming an issue for LG, is not watching that lurk there, because automatically did the same exact thing in the last round, and they didn't seem to be aware of it at all either there.
It's a weird angle because you never expect someone to get there, so you're holding above it, you're like standing in the middle of the train watching E-Box or watching the side of T-Con. If someone has gotten this so close as to be under the train, if you're standing on top of it, there's no way you look down. It's far too late, and Cloud9 took advantage of that. Now, there's enough nades there for Cloud9 to have a legitimate execute, and in response, Luminosity could have had a better hold if they, again, caught Stewie on that first frag. But because they couldn't do that, are now have to save. And, already, we see a much better Luminosity than we did last map, for sure. But Cloud9's sick individual plays are really shining through right now, and it's half the rounds have been plants. Kills kind of across the board, Rush continuing to have an impact. The stars really aligning. The off gets recycled one more time, which is nice for Luminosity. Economic damage worth something.
At the very least, they might be able to set this op up to get a couple of kills this time, but we'll see. They've come close in a few other rounds to being able to eco Cloud9 as well, or at least setting up in the early round for it. It's the mid round for the most part here, where Cloud9 seem to really take control of things and shut it down from that point forward, giving LG no chance, and they're just eliminating them or forcing them to save, as we've seen a couple times now with this op. It currently is in the hands of Yell.
That's true. It's been 3v5 twice. Right? Showtime getting those P250 kills. The Ivy hit.
Cloud9 basically just splitting their players up, and it looks like they're actually going to dive in towards inner after some delay here. It's going to take another 20 or 30 seconds or so to probably set this up. But actually could be an outer play too, because hold on, looks like the bomb's not going to fully commit just yet. They leave it outside of T-Con. The second guy that goes over towards Ivy. So leaving the options open at this point. And they'll continue to play slow, obviously, since it is still essentially an eco from Luminosity. So they do want to be careful of them trying to sit up to do anything aggressive, since they do like to try and get those kills if they can early on.
No mistakes being made from Luminosity. Doing a good job of burning down the clock. Cloud9 running out of grenades slowly. Skadoodle working his way to inner with the rest of his team. I imagine Rush will just come back and pick up the ladder flank. Skadoodle starting to run, so they might know, and after hearing this, Showtime trying to take advantage of a good timing, but misses the window and gets killed.
They didn't have anyone else in her, unfortunately, so Showtime was really a do-or-die moment for him there. PKL, however, just walking up ladder. For whatever reason, they didn't have anyone watching that. I guess they assumed that Rush was going to be close enough to get the bomb down on the ground. It's an interesting spot, so you don't expect. PKL hitting another shot with that. Now he's pincered, though, so he does have to be careful. And yeah, he'll get taken down by Rush. That leaves only the op and one additional pistol rolling here. It looks like the op is already falling back. Cello does a one-and-done trade. And yeah, Yell, that op is going to be a familiar sight as it runs out Ivy again to save.
So it was a small error, but because it's an eco and teams will react off very little information on an eco, I think one mistake they made was Scudetto running from top of ladder, because that allowed for the big flank to feel like, all right, there's probably no one watching this if they're frantically going to the site. And you know, on a rifle round, you might not fast flank, but on an eco, you almost certainly will. And I think what should have happened was more of a relay where Scudetto waited for Rush to get there, walk all the way to ladder, and then go in and take the site with his team. But before that, just let the 3 people work their way inside, make sure no big flanks happen, because that might be the only way they lose the round.
So Stewie, he's going to be able to take down Nekes there. As that pretty much seals the deal on Inner. And Cloud9, with that being sealed here, gets the transition on to the next gun round. Luminosity fully buying up again. But the track record has not been so great so far. Like I said, it's really the mid-round that's been the focal point for these gun rounds so far, and that's where Cloud9 has been able to establish dominance, but Luminosity will play a little bit more forward this time as well. We do have Showtime right up at the ramp. A few other players also somewhat close towards like E-Box and hugging that wall outside of Bomb Train. So they're ready to take an early fight. They're not going to let Cloud9 execute and just try to sit back and hold the site. They want to try and fight them early this time. And Cloud9 will shift towards Inner pretty quickly. 3 players already moving into here, ready to execute, and 2 more standing pretty close by. Here we go. There's the smoke executes, but the 2 players outside here are actually in T-Con, so they are going to move down ladder, try to do a 3-man waterfall play outside here. Cello ready to shut them down, however, so he gets 2 quick headshots, taking out Automatic and Stu. Rush will trade. Tarek now lost, with Scudetto picking up an additional frag, trying to keep them in this spot. Scudetto didn't realize he was inside of a Molotov, and Rush also gets eliminated to the op of Yell. Finally, Luminosity holds strong, and Cloud9's execute just gets torn apart.
What was that thing I said about games with the Brazilian teams that you can never avoid?
I don't know. Oh. Didn't even realize. Well, there it is again, I suppose.
There it is again.
Yeah, look at that.
We'll keep counting as long as we cast. But yeah, the 7-1 scoreline is what I'm referring to. But a good solid hold from Luminosity. Cello playing E-Box perfectly. That's a spot sometimes you do have to play by yourself with not much support, and you are also expected to get 2 kills. So very important that he made those kills happen. And even though Luminosity were able to get out of their choke points, so that was solid. Good shooting, and then Yell supporting him from the back with that op. And here's an interesting setup. Yell's going to take a shot. I don't know if his teammate is going to boost up right after, or if he's just going to peek out to make sure that no one can peek and trade him. But I kind of like it. It's cool. I'd like to see how it worked out, but it's going to be an inner hit instead.
A move in. PKL already ready to stop some of this, though, as he gets the double. The player from upper is still rolling. He's going to get additional support on ramp in a couple of moments here, but Stewie, trying to adjust in time, and he does get the kill, but that's going to let Showtime walk right up the mid lane, take him out. He will run out of ammo without realizing it, so that's where he dies to Rush. That'll also give Rush the room to plan here. It's still a tough situation from Cloud9, as they let PKL get away with that double kill on ramp. That ultimately might be what kills them in this round. So they're going to try to hold back the retake from upper. It would have to be a heroic effort from Rush, killing these upper players in order for them to win this round, as they are also dealing with the flank. But actually, it's Automatic that moves in, gets the first kill. Yell will now trade on the backside here, making all this noise. And this is great, too, because this just lets Cello walk all the way out. And finally, Yell is going to go up on top, complete the pincer move, taking out Automatic, and securing a second now for Luminosity.
How did Yell figure that out? Was he trying to sound bait him? So that was
I think
pretty
that's what
smart.
it was. Yeah. I think he was just trying to draw him in closer so that Cello could walk right in.
No, it was Yell that killed him, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose it works out for him because he does just get to walk right up there as soon as Cello walks out. But
yeah, for sure he was trying to help Cello out. I guess I was wondering if he was trying to sound bait for himself because he took that peek, but who knows? That's between him and God. Who's God in Brazil? Fallen? It's between him and Fallen.
yeah.
I like how Futiveris called him the father of Brazilian Counter-Strike, and then James said Gabriel Toledo. So it's like, holy Toledo.
That is an interesting I haven't noticed that. But it looks like Cloud9, well, they'll quickly deploy smokes as they do manage to actually put together a semi-decent gun round by here. Just Tarek having to sacrifice going down onto his CZ. But even though they get these smokes out, they'll be mollied by Luminosity pretty much everywhere except T-Con, and even the mid lane there at Sandwich is actually mollied too, so they can't cross successfully over here to Speedway. Skadoodle, however, still makes the first entry happen. Automatic attempting to sneak back up, but he gets caught looking the wrong way. It's still evenly traded for the time being, however, as we were able to see additional kills coming out from Stewie. So with the elimination of PKL, it keeps Cloud9 in the game for right now. But at the moment, the problem is Cloud9 are kind of frozen. They don't have any utility left, so they can't just push right out. As it's suicide, they're going to end up having to do that anyway. The distraction by the loss of 2 teammates lets Stewie kill the guy that's guarding Z, so he can at least split through here. I think he's going to make it look like this is actually really smart. He's going to make it look like he's going B, as we started to see more and more commonly now.
Okay, but he was trying to get a kill right here, so he's going to be kind of upset to not see someone coming up the stairs. And from here, doesn't have a good way to plant, so I think he's going to be surprised to see no one in the back lanes rotating through, and this makes the round kind of difficult for him. I mean, it was difficult in the first place, but if he got that 1v1, well, literally his chances go up by, you want to say, 80, 90%, just being able to play a 1v1 however he wants. He picks up that off as well.
And he changes over to that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Yell just walks right out, and he's still crouching away, so easy 2v1 for Luminosity to win out there. And now they're going to go up to 3, and now Cloud9's money should finally be broken.
So the hold is really good. I wonder why Cloud9's executes have become a lot more simplistic, because they had that inner take that didn't work out so well. Giving up 3 rounds in a row like this when you're, for some reason, trying to do 2 walkouts when in previous rounds that's not what won you them. I'm not sure exactly why they've tried to do that. Though that being said, now you start to look at that half and you see that there was 2 3v5s. One of them was actually an eco round recovery, but the other was a rifle round. And think, okay, well, they actually started off bad early. Luminosity probably could have won those rounds and should have, and now they are. But still, going super light on utility, running out like lower ramp without a smoke. Why are they resorting to this? I wonder.
Now, again, Cloud9, they do decide to force into this situation here, at least getting all 5 players with rifles. Where is the hit going to move itself towards this time? It's looking like just another straightforward outer hit. We do see smokes working their way out. You don't have that usual forward aggressive play from Luminosity as much as did in the last one. You do have Cello playing over here inside of E, or right behind E-Box, but he has no support this time, so it's not very well established. Rush is going to be able to creep forward. Stewie, ooh, actually with a messy spray. Showtime's able to dodge that. Tarek thankfully moves in and quickly trade that out. And now, just the 2 ops still left standing here.
Oh my god.
Oh no! My god. He tried to go for the cheeky knife and it backfires so hard. Now it's an even battle. And the CTs are going to be able to push out. They get full Z control.
I want to say maybe like to get all the way up, he would have had to use his, like he would have to shoot off the ladder, so that's why he did it. But
oh, now they're just going to start taking out these Cloud9 members one by one. Automatic with a good flash. He peeks it early, but Yell still holds in the 1v1. And there we go. Cloud9 seeming to fall apart at the seams all of a sudden. A great start to this half, but Luminosity are coming back incredibly quickly. The last 4 rounds have all been them.
Should he have his 2 options on his decision tree? Should he have shot up the ladder? Should he have shot up the ladder when he saw him? Because he pulled out his knife after having his gun out. Or, I don't know.
Just unfortunate timing, really.
Yeah. I'm not even sure he was trying to be like a phallic object. But it did seem like, it looked like it.
So Cloud9 finally, I know I've said it for the past like 2 rounds. I was actually very surprised with how much money they had considering how close some of these rounds were, but finally they run out of cash.
It is to the boost. Interesting.
By that boost goes up on top. Cloud9 expect that though, so Rush is actually going to be able to get this first kill. Yell knows that they know he's here, so he's going to have to run away very quickly. He gets out though without taking any damage. The teaser very quickly actually going to smoke that off. That's going to get Yell into the open again. But with this, I believe that's Stewie walking away towards T-Con. Only Rush at 7 HP is going to be there to fight against the Opper. As long as the Opper keeps the op out, however, the HP is really not going to matter that much.
5v4 untrained is terrifying as a CT. You love to have one person in her, but you don't like to know that the other team realizes that you will at most have one person in her. Op kill at Ivy makes up for some of these damages, however, as they bust through this ramp. That player in Z isn't in a position to stop the plant, though a good nade will.
That will stop it temporarily. At the very least, Cloud9 will still be able to move in, getting themselves a plant onto the ground. Stewie and Automatic are going to basically just try to hold by the train. All three of them really hiding by the train. Yell misses his first shot, though, so it's no longer surprising to have that upper creeping up on them. It's basically just going to be the Z players look for it. Automatic, fortunately, whiffing on most of the magazine there. And Yell and Shello will be the one to clean up those last 2 kills, securing a number 5 for Luminosity.
Good recovery. Now we're starting to have our game on our hands. Luminosity, like making the most of the staff, still has the opportunity to get 8 rounds. A lot more solid now. Bunch of money for Cloud9, so I'm so curious. With this much money, all their utility, are they going to try to do a walkout again? Or if they're not, what are they going to do instead? That was a kind of decent eco round that allowed them to have enough money that, you know, they can potentially save if the round falls apart early. But Luminosity, with a double op setup, are in a powerful position, having won so many rounds in a row. And looking back at the rounds they lost and realizing, wow, we were close to winning those too.
All right. There's another one.
There's another one. Oh.
Oh, you know, it's Yell this time. He's going to be able to move, and he finds Tarek. He mollies himself, going back outside there.
It's called the blood sacrifice.
Yeah. Blood for the blood god.
Right.
And now Cloud9 will actually just fall back. They'll just give Luminosity the respect here. They know that they were kind of outmatched in that little bit of a duel. Back over towards the box halls, so they're going to shift away, see if they can change the dynamic a little bit. And maybe swing this towards outer instead. Luminosity are obviously realizing this too. There's 0 presence left established by Cloud9. They do keep Stewie here, but he's not making any noise or anything, just sitting on ramp lurking.
It's going to be a simple fake that he can throw. Players are coming back for some reason. Oh, I guess they're turning the fake into Automatic at Ivy, which I actually quite like. Though they won't be able to pull an extra person out, I don't think. Oh, Automatic seems to be coming in for the clutch, not even the fake lurk, I should say. He's going to try not to make noise.
So he'll slowly push in. I think Nekis is watching for this, though.
Yeah, but will he when they execute? Oh, he's coming out early.
Yeah, they're going to move back in. Automatic, he gets that first kill, gets the second as well. Meanwhile, on inner, Yell is able to pick up a first kill, but leaves himself out in the open for too long. Rush will be blinded, so he doesn't kill PK on the initial peek from Z, but on the re-peek, gets him easily. And that's Cloud9 bouncing back now to get an 8th round.
That's when everything works too well to the point that you don't know if they messed up at all. Like in terms of timing it, Automatic peeked out of Ivy the same time they executed inner, so it was right in that window of time where it's not a lurk and it's not a fake. It's like all the attention could have been on him if maybe someone said go at inner and that was actually a little bit too soon. I think he could have died is what I'm saying if someone decided to check Ivy. If he took a little bit more time, maybe they were done checking Ivy, or they peeked into his crosshair and he killed them. Or if he took more time, he just gets the long flank and kills him in Z walking. But at that moment in time, I feel like the CTs would have been most ready for a play like that.
So another full gun round for both teams here as we're getting close to the end of the half. Luminosity, though, going to be a little bit disappointed they couldn't keep that streak going all the way. But at the very least, the 5-round streak is good for them as it does buy them real estate to get back into this game now. There's obviously a lot of control for Luminosity going into those white halls, but Cloud9 very aware of this. And Automatic waiting at the bottom of those steps will catch the first kill here. Tarek's also going to move back up. The timing on this will be interesting because this is just as Yell moved into the locker rooms. So
Yell's such a crazy guy. Like he's at the op and he's the one big flanking, somehow ends up in bathrooms. You would really expect your rifle to be the guy to do this. But on Ivy control, no one retaking it. Cloud9 are going to wait their timeout. Still close to the bomb plant zone. 3 CTs here, though, waiting for a fight. Warriors.
Well, they seem to know something about what's going on. However, on entry, Rush with the first kill, but nothing else being seen after that until Rush can strike again. Even he goes down, so Automatic with that kill, however, still works out because of Cloud9's first initial kill. And then pushing back in. But look at this from Yell, just peeks right out. Skadoodle was not ready for that fight at all, so he goes down. Oh, wow, and the blind kill from Yell to end it, too. Automatic just walks right into his own death, and that's Luminosity with the 1v2 clutch.
Damn, dude. Skadoodle even waited a little bit after throwing the flash, but so did Yell. Very nicely done.
The mind games.
The double mind games.
So last round here, and Cloud9 do have to end up forcing it a little bit, as we can see 2 pistol players, 2 AKs, and a... Oh, first Skadoodle. They're Everybody else in Luminosity, even they're going to have to force a little bit, though, as we can see. They obviously end up with a much better buy. They have 2 a FAMAS. Everybody has full utility, though. And that's the kicker, is that Luminosity don't have that to play with.
Stewie coming in with the absurd peak. Shadows, people always forget, man.
So Cello does just essentially give himself away there due to the pre-fire from Automatic. He'll take that out. He'll smoke it off, preventing anyone from pushing the side lanes. But Yell's still going to try to check this from up on top of the first train here. Won't spot anything, though. Cloud9 very far pushed forward, and it is just Automatic inside. Now the other 2 that are out here looking to execute from Ivy. He's pushing it with perfect timing as well. They're both looking the other way right now. So Automatic's being given all this room for free. Rush, unfortunately, a little bit off the mark on the spray, but Automatic has this position. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the first initial kill, and PKL comes spamming out there, running out to be able to get that pickup. Now with Nekaz finding Skadoodle, it's just left down to the pistol players. They should be able to pick up at least the AK here in the midfield, but yeah, unfortunately, Tarek's going to end up walking right into another op shot. And that leaves only Stewie to try and clutch 1v3. He does have a decent amount of time, but he also, if you remember, has to reroute over towards Hell there in order to get the bomb pickup. So he's going to try to sneak forward. Yeah, he'll be taken out by Showtime. So that's going to seal it, ladies and gentlemen. A great comeback in the mid half here from Luminosity as they bring it up to 7-8 Cloud9 after a starting 7-round streak, only established 1 more round. Stick with us to see who can take the advantage in the second half right after this.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Luminosity here taking on Cloud9. We're in our second map, the first map being very quick in favor of Cloud9 with a 16-2 scoreline, but Trame is obviously very much closer, 8-7 at the half, with Cloud9 having a good start, but then flaunting that advantage due to simple executes and giving a lot of rounds over to LG as they end up bringing 7 rounds back towards the end.
Yeah, just as you said, it was just that. Now, there were a couple of rounds earlier in the half that would have alluded to the fact that maybe Luminosity could have had a better half overall. Maybe could have had 10 rounds in that half, maybe 11. So Cloud9 probably feeling somewhat fortunate that they got as many rounds as they did, I think, towards the end of it, including the pistol. That also helped a lot. So moving into the second half, no one's gonna remember that. Everyone's just gonna remember the score at the end of the game, and the stat at the end of the game is just going to be a 1 and a 0. It won't even matter how many rounds you get if it's not 16. Everybody forgets the loser blue. The only thing that matters is who wins.
What is this rant about?
It doesn't matter how many pistols you had.
I kind of lost track of
all that matters
what the point
is how many rings you got, blue. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how you got the rings, the quality of the opponents you beat. It's just 1s and 0s.
All right. Well, Luminosity will get ready for a heavy Ivy execute here, but Cloud9 also have 2 players waiting. One of them at the back of the server looking to surprise, too, as you can see Automatic sitting back there. Rush is trying to tap into this a little bit here and there if he can find anything. Yelp starts it off with a double kill, however. Dispatches of both of those players. It's good stuff for them. Stewie can also only get 1. Skadoodle basically has to save the day here as he gets 1 pickup for himself. Goes out, drops the bomb. Now we're even again. And Tarek took him a moment, but he gets the headshot on PKL. And now just Cello alive. 1v2 starts off great for Luminosity. The mid round doesn't end up going too well, however. And now Cello looks to clutch. And they already know where he's at.
Oh man, Tarek, that must be scary for Cello because he saw Stewie was by Z and Tarek's by ladder. So they're both cutting off what was the middle of the map. Cello actually looking for this fight. I think it's very smart, but Tarek fully prepared for any kind of shenanigans. Absolutely decimates him, and this is where Yell gets really mad at his team because he completely opened up this round for him. It's actually a 2v5 that they win because, of course, leave it to Stewie. You know, Stewie's the, or it's not Stewie, excuse me. Who was that? Who was on screen?
Skadoodle.
Oh, Skadoodle made the huge play. Leave it to Skadoodle. New sitcom coming to NBC.
So we've got Luminosity now on their second buy round. They do buy aggressively. And Yell again finding a little bit of impact. They're tagging at least one player. Unfortunately, he gets wrecked by nades, so he's going to be out of the round pretty quickly as soon as he tags down Tarek. LG pretty much already at the gates of A, ready to move in here if they decide to go for that. But I think they moved the bomb into, yeah, it's up top there. It's always a little bit hard to tell from the minimap, but they are going to move these players into white halls here and then subsequently get it over towards box halls to get ready for just a quick push onto B. Cloud9 already have 2 of their own players sitting here, ready to defend it. And a very well-timed smoke actually will move in there, so that is going to stop them for a couple of seconds. They'll still decide to push through, and unfortunately, because the second player here was repositioning, because Skadoodle was changing his spot, that is going to kind of leave Stewie out to dry a little bit. PKL even watching for Tarek.
Oh, is he even watching it though? No, he's not watching it.
AFK.
Oh, whoa!
Showtime
wow.
gets that kill anyway. That's very impressive. Rush is going to have to try to sneak forward. He's been spotted now, though, so no more sneaking. We need to start seeing some kills from Cloud9, as right now they're not really accomplishing all that much. LG is holding the line. Skadoodle going to wrap around. Automatic is actually the one that gets that kill there. But yeah, they just can't hold it, so Luminosity upsets in round number 2. They trade it back, and that's going to send this half into chaos very quickly.
Wow, suddenly everyone from Cloud9 just looked awful. Tarek got completely turned on, though. That was nuts from Showtime. That's difficult. But they had a lot of opportunity. They had a lot of opportunities to get those kills. Just not looking sharp for some reason. Are going to buy up. I don't know if Luminosity will anticipate this. I think they should be weary, slightly concerned. Maybe kick it off with anti-eco, which it looks like they are. Cloud9 looking to sit back and wait, however. Rush is the only one pushed up at all. And I kind of like where the meta of the ladder player has gone, because I'd like to see it be decided to some extent. But not, oh, no one's even holding for his fallback. Why use the molly?
All right. This has been a weird match so far with just some of the random situations that keep popping up. Yell is going to be able to get the kill on a Tarek, and obviously Automatic is still lit from the molly, however, so he gets pushed back.
That's when you're just going through the motions. Like that's when you start to forget stuff.
Yeah. So now we've got Luminosity moving in pretty quickly here. PKL just flashing around the corner to make sure Cloud9 didn't push an A main. Yeah, we'll move out. Yeah, he did spot Automatic there, so he's not going to be able to get away trying to sneak over towards E-Box. Quickly dispatching of everyone. Get out of my way. That was hilarious. But yeah, they'll both end up falling back the top ladder. Rush will go for one more check downstairs, just trying to get one more kill, but they know the round's over. And that's going to be Luminosity now tying it up at 9-9.
I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's all that HIV in the water.
Who knows, dude?
That's such too sick of a reference. I think that has to be explained. I'm sorry to everybody to listen to that.
Just moving on, trying to hunt down Stewie. He's just going to sit right here at the glass window. If anyone does push up those steps, he's actually got a pretty good advantage in the duel, but ultimately, Luminosity will end up hiding outside. And Stewie's going to push down, which means he's going to walk right into Cello, potentially. He is in there, but Cello's not going to peek, so just a little bit of an awkward exchange at the end. Stewie will end up surviving, but it's not much that he makes it away with, just a armor buy, essentially. As should be going into the first gun run, I believe.
Somewhat poor form from Luminosity as they flash to retake T-Con. Some stuff is a little bit sloppy. So I think especially versus Antico, that's when it's particularly important to not be flashing for yourself, to make sure you're catching everybody off guard that you can. You know, you throw a molly at Ivy, you follow up with someone to hold it. Not the same person who throw it as well. Tarek going to be buying a Zeus though as we move into the next round. A full save, 9-9. So the wind has been taken out of the clouds.
Yeah, now they sit with just P250 and the CZ from the last round that Stewie saved. So it's not much to play off of here. They decide to gamble stack it in B. And at the moment, Luminosity are lined up for just a default outer execute. So assuming they go in on that, it should be a very straightforward round for them to now take the lead away from Cloud9. But we'll see. Cloud9 are starting to move their players a little bit there on inner 2. PKL starts it off with a bounce Molotov to go back, I think, towards E-Box there. And the others just keeping it quiet here. Actually, no, excuse me, that molly ends up landing over here inside of a ladder room to clear that out. So that's actually a nice little molly there. That would be a little bounce at that far, but it works out. So now they move in. They'll systematically clear out the A site. And like I said before, it's open, as Cloud9 did gamble stack 5 on B. So it's going to be an easy walkover round for Luminosity, essentially. Because now they just have to take out anyone that attempts to challenge them in this outer site.
Yep, they did what they had to do. Cloud9 just picked the wrong site, 50-50 chance. And sometimes you do have to gamble in life. When's the last time you gambled?
About a month ago. I was in Vegas.
How'd you do?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, came back with your shoes?
Yeah. I think I made $100.
$100?
Yeah.
Were you playing penny slots?
That was blackjack mainly.
Blackjack, okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I was up and down, so I ended up. Oh, there we go. A little jump scout there from Yell. But yeah, I ended up going all over the place and then just left with $100. So
Cool.
I'll take it.
Is that why you want to move there? See a lot of profit to be made?
No, not at all. That's the wrong reason to move.
That's the
there.
only reason you don't
Yeah.
care, actually.
If you're moving there for that reason, that's the wrong reason. That could go bad pretty
Well,
quick.
why do people go to casinos if you don't make money?
What? Because they're on vacation and they. I don't know.
So you just want to lose money because you're on vacation?
That's why I think
What
that's why most people gamble, right? It's like you just have some fun. At least it's like the adult version of the arcade. It's literally what it is.
Some people take it very seriously, Blue, and I don't think they'd appreciate you calling it a kid's arcade.
Well, I mean, I said the adult version.
Adult arcade.
All right, let's bring this back to Counter-Strike here. As we're in the first gun round, Rush will go 1-for-1 as he hugs that E-Box wall. Showtime with another pickup too. Skadoodle does find one, but he's low HP, so he's going to fall back into a safe position. He'll hold on old bomb tunnel for now. The kills have been enough to actually push LG back, but the problem is Automatic finds himself a little bit too aggressively stancing forward. He goes up to the edge of the bomb train. That's where Cello's waiting outside of ladder room, so he gets another pickup, and that restores the advantage for LG here. But they still seem a little bit timid to pinch on the site and actually go for this plant right now. I know the last two are there, and that timidness is going to end up stabbing them in the back, because now Stewie can pop up, gets his kill. Skadoodle now finally finds Cello outside of ladder, and all of a sudden it's left to Yell to clutch. We could be just be looking at a 2v3 win for Cloud9, unless Yell can pull this off.
This is going to be another round that we're going to list. Oh, wow. Just barely sees Stewie. And it would have been a good angle if he, I mean, if he came in scoped, he would have been able to hit that for sure. But leave it to Stewie to make a play there, looking for that first kill in the 2v3. Another round that Cloud9 win at a man disadvantage, a poor and just awful stat lines to have to look back on in a best of one especially. But Cloud9 did what they had to do. They just had to sit patiently and wait, get that first kill, force Luminosity to make their next move, and then hold on to a different angle. And it paid off every single time. What both those players outside, and I think the bomb at ladder, maybe it would have made sense to... Oh, actually the bomb is in hell. And left stranded. Tough spot. 10-10 though, and it was 9-9. So going very, very close, back and forth in this half as we round out this game. Pretty good economic damage means that people can't be quite as liberal with their grenades. I kind of like that. It makes it interesting to watch.
Super quiet too in the opener as a result of that. So all these players just creeping over here towards box halls. No aggression from Cloud9 at all, despite winning that last round. They're just going to hang back, play nice and steady here as they hold the usual four-man outer hold. And Tarek, well, he's going to be the one defending ladder. So he's actually probably going to be very important in this round as Luminosity, assuming they do decide to go outer, would be very important. I mean, outer or inner, he's going to be an important player in this round, as it does look like it's going to end up being an inner hit. So his flank, if he decides to go for one, kind of make or break the hold. Wow, that was
I think the rule is if you follow the grenade, if you observe it, it changes course.
Does it? Just adds the weight to it. It's
I guess so.
yeah. Skadoodle at the moment just picking these players off. Luminosity trying to go in one by one in a straightforward inner execute. Does not work out at all. And all of a sudden, they just have 2 players left standing. The bomb is down. They're split up. This round is not winnable.
Not winnable. 10 seconds left. PKL should not be giving any more sound cues as to where he is, because he really wants to save him and his teammate. Showtime. Showtime in a much better spot as, yeah, he's playing really close up here. I think he's worried about, like, the Tikon flank is trying to wait somewhere in the middle, and no one's actually going to go out and seek them because Cloud9 didn't have that much money to work with as well. I kind of like that from Cloud9. And overall, we can see just way too much line of sight for Skadoodle. The molly on A ramp, nothing to smoke him out, no good flash to push him off, and just a series of dry peaks that give him free reign on the B site. Irresponsible, lazy, foolish,
Churlish.
churlish.
To complete the quote. I forget what movie that's from. That was actually a quote from a movie, though.
Oh, There Will Be Blood?
No, it was a newer movie, I think.
Pineapple Express.
I don't think so. Cello moving in. He's going to be able to take down... Oh, yeah, it was a Key and Peele skit. That's right.
Oh.
Thanks to our producer for helping us out with that one. But they'll move in. They actually get site control here just by taking down Stewie. However, the retake is still very much alive here for Cloud9 right now. All 4 of the remaining players have full utility. The 3 out of 4 of Luminosity's members do have AKs to play off of here, but one of the CZ kind of kills it. However, Showtime quickly headshots out Terra. That's one angle of this defeated. Nekaz is also going to be able to find Rush. Skadoodle gets a close-up shot, but now it's Cloud9 disadvantaged. And it actually looks like they're backing away. So are they going to call this one off? Looks like it, yeah. They're not going to attempt it. They're going to let Luminosity have this round. And essentially just a walkout from them. Or a run out, I guess, in this case, will win them the round.
Kind of sad to see with Luminosity or Cloud9 saving all of their guns on the previous round, having all the utility advantage that they are failing to. I guess you know, because they're getting in between the counter nades on a low buy, Luminosity were able to get into the B site, but with a double op setup, you would think walkouts shouldn't be possible, just like they weren't last round. Really weird to see that happen again for them, and round trades back and forth one more time. Now, still another full buyout for Cloud9. Luminosity have all the grenades they'd like to have as well. Everyone's setting up, Yell going right for Olaf, and then for the jugular as the flashes the system and his push.
Nekaz, though, gets this double kill on entry, and they're just melting the entire Cloud9 setup. They don't even stand a chance here. Yell's already down at 22 HP. Nekaz loses half, but obviously Automatic is not really going to be set up for success here. He'll get the kill on PKL, but now that they know where he is, they can very easily set up to counter out his movements, and he knows this, so he'll be backing away. Probably trying to run over towards the box also if he can make it there. Just spam it into Nekaz. But unfortunately, that does isolate him in this Whitehall area, allowing Showtime to come up the steps and kill him from behind.
Yeah, trying to run and gun because he realized he had someone right behind him, tailing him quick. And here is this. After Nekaz, I think, opens up with 2 entries. Yeah, Yell comes in with a third, pushing down Hell, smoking out Ivy on his way out, and no one from Ivy able to take a shot on players coming out, even though there was no set smoke for Ivy for all that time. Surprised to see. That's a round where you'd have to look back at a couple times from a few different perspectives to really understand, or just get in the team speak and see what people are yelling about, just to figure out what went wrong exactly. But the fast execute pays off in dividends, something that Cloud9 did to Luminosity. So fair play.
2 times in a row too, because they did that fast. They had pretty
Inner
fast
as well.
execute on the inner last round.
Yeah.
Or 2 rounds ago, I guess it would be now.
It's like their late half thing. They start speeding it up.
Yeah, if it works, can't fault it. So
yeah, it's true. If it works, it's up to the other team to prove or show you that they can stop it, and you're free to use the strategy over and over again. You can use the same strategy 4 rounds in a row. A team might not figure out how to stop it. You would expect a good team to eventually, but sometimes they do it too late.
and Luminosity, after some delay, looks like they are just going to be going for another outer execute this time. Cloud9 only having pistols as they basically are on a full save. Well, we'll have to do their best. We saw Optic pull this off yesterday. But seeing it 2 times in a row on the same map would be impressive to say the least. Skadoodle, though, making a bet for it right now. He'll spot that blue train player just a little bit too late, and that will seal his fate. He goes down. Tarek tries to make something work with that CZ up close, but he'll also be dispatched out. So that's Luminosity now with a solid lead established, 13-11. Cloud9 will get a bye round going, but if they lose this one, that might be the end of the game for them.
Here we are in critical round territory. Luminosity getting a stranglehold on Cloud9, being able to rush inner and outer. It's a terrifying set of circumstances for C9, who were doing so great kind of leading up to this. Have 2 pistols in this 11-round score so far. Would have anticipated that they just straight up win the map, considering their ability to have their way with Luminosity in the previous. And now it seems like Luminosity are playing far better than them, getting away with everything they want, and not even have to try that hard. Just hitting them up with the right full fast executes, putting their counter nade abilities to the test, making sure their ops are all in the right places and covering their rifles properly. It seems like Cloud9 are filling on more than one of those fronts.
Cloud9 do invest very heavily this time, even risking it so far as to go down to Skadoodle on an op buy as the second op comes in, but he's not going to have armor behind his buy. Nekaz tries to go for that straightforward execute, although this time he was on top of the trains, but it's to distract as the real play is happening towards inner, and Stewie is caught out of position as a result of that. Skadoodle trying to see if he can see a head popping up there for the plant spot. He does spot it at the ramp there, but it's actually going to be Tarek that gets the first kill, and to realize it a little bit late, but the molly deals actually quite a bit of damage to them now with Tarek dead. Combined HP of 17 on Skadoodle and Rush there. They're basically both one-shottable by a single bullet from an AK. Automatic also going to be the last player at full HP, but with this kill on Rush, we'll have to hold ourselves here because there is a chance yet for Cloud9. They will have to scout this flank though, and right now they don't see it. PKL though only gets 1 done. Automatic has been saving the team right now with that trade. That's going to allow Yelp to be put into a position where he has to clutch 1v2. Walks out, spamming into the wrong spot. He's going to leap in with a knife. Oh my god, he's not okay. He gets the knife kill, and with that should secure the round as there's no way Automatic's getting up there to get it in time. Yeah, we'll even get that kill right at the end there. He does die, but they secure the round, which at this point was the far more important thing.
Oh my gosh. We're going to take another look at this huge molly that Scooter will spend a little bit too much time in. And I like the play a lot from Luminosity. It was in the same vein of Simplicity. Cloud9 thought, okay, they're going to go hit outer again because it worked so well last time. This time it's a simple fake, 1 man to commit, so they can really make presence and solidify the fact that it will be an outer execute. And they all just run inner, pull that fast, rotate out, because people are happy to play 4-1 anyway, and then bully the 1 man on the site. Put a lot of pressure on him to make sure that he has to hold the whole site or they lose. And it did come down to a couple of very sketchy knife swings through the smoke, but with a 10-second diffuse, kind of expected that to sort itself out at the end of the day.
So Cloud9 do end up on just CZ purchases and only 3 to 5 players having armor buys.
This is better. It's actually flashing for your teammate.
They'll move in. Wow, Rush still gets a kill anyway, and Automatic from the outside gets a second.
I don't think either of those flashes were good.
So it won't connect very well. Now Automatic's going to be able to get the upgrade to an AK.
He didn't line it up, I don't think. Like, for Rush's angle, it's such a deep angle, but like that's the spot you're trying to flash, so.
It didn't bounce out far enough in order to hit it. If anything, it would have just hit Automatic.
Yeah.
Speaking of him, he ends up going down, but look at this flank now. These guys are playing like 5 dimensions. Oh, Yell suspects it, however, so he catches that. And after a bit of a shaky start to this round, it was looking likely that we would see a Cloud9 upset, actually, but Luminosity recovered nicely around TCON there, and PKL seals the deal with his 3rd kill on the round. That's going to put Luminosity up to 15.
It could have definitely been a big flank from Stewie. And even though it technically was, he didn't get a lot for it.
We'll take a look at the stats here now as we do see another pause coming in from C9. They got 1 more chance to save themselves. How are things looking? Rush at the forefront there, but Yell is the top player in the server.
Damn, he's got most kills, lead deaths.
And ADR.
30 and 13. Monster. Not dying a lot, having like a fair bit of impact, like hitting a lot of shots.
Bringing Luminosity back. Just in that last round, I think he was the one that stops that flank from Stewie, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So that was really the turning point of that round. If Stewie gets that kill, more than likely Cloud9 are going to be able to pincer the guys in A main and shut down the rest of it, but thankfully Yell stops that from happening, and then they control the situation from that point forward. So once again, showing up and earning that spot at the top of pretty much every stat point that we can see on that graphic there.
Oof, that's one way to get opt. And lose your best player on a pretty important round. But I mean, he was right about the fact that there'd be someone there looking for the fight. Just couldn't get there fast enough. Didn't wait for his teammate to bait out the shot, which probably would have benefited them. But it's hard to say if Automatic would have even fallen for it in that situation. Either way, out 5-4. Cello peeking around at inner.
Luminosity just walking in right now towards Ivy, and Cloud9 backed away from it, so they don't have anyone to defend it. They have the guy back around over here, but oh no, Automatic misses the shot, and that's going to let PKL walk right up to get the kill. He even transitions over another up shot, getting himself behind the old bomb train, that is. Now the rest are going to walk right in. This is where Rush gets one kill, but Nekes is there for a quick trade back. PKL strikes again as he moves out from the old bomb train to take down Skadoodle, hiding behind the current bomb train. The last two stuck at inner. Gonna have to try to rotate back in. Tarek does have a molly for the retake, but Stewie has nothing. So they're very light on utility, and PKL just trained right on that headshot angle. Now it's just Stewie. He will be able to actually walk up and get a quick trade onto PKL. Now he's got a 1v2. There's only a limited amount of places that he can come from, so Luminosity are going to be able to set up to completely counter him. He'll walk, push himself into the site, and that's actually the easy part, as Luminosity are hiding on the back lanes. He also does not have a kit, and I don't think there's going to be one that's easily recoverable for him, as most of the action didn't really happen near this bomb train. So gets onto it, tries to get the guy ladder out. The flashbang destroys him, and he's not even really behind the bomb or the train there, the orange train all the way. So he takes half damage, and Nekes will finish him off. As we do see Luminosity claiming revenge and recovering quite nicely after a very poor start on map number 1, only putting up 2 rounds here, or there, excuse me, back on Inferno. But here on train, they control the situation much better and take control 16-11, trading these maps 1-1 for the evening.
Absolutely, well done. Much better form. T-side was a lot more impressive. I like that last round, how they used PKL to jump through the smoke. Automatic was actually ready for it, and so maybe they actually lose that round if he hits that shot, but they made it work. And yeah, overall, solid comeback after that first map.
All right, well, we have our analysts standing by, so let's send it over to them to break down this second map.
What in the fork just happened to Cloud9 right there?
Yeah, that would have been a little more apt if there was a forklift on the map, but I see where you're going with that.
Bring that out. Please continue. What happened, Cloud9?
What happened on that map is that C9 gave LG the opening back into the match. 2 or 3 rounds were kind of like lifelines to them. Like, here's a little lifeline to get back into it. I'm going to give you a chance. And, of course, they took it and they ran with it, right? So I'm not saying that LG didn't do anything well. Early on, C9 had everything going in their favor, right? They were just winning all of the right gun battles and having nice strats. But at the end of the strats, you know, you see people going for knives. You see people pushing smokes and whiffing sprays after pushing smokes. And, you know, those things in isolation are small, but the end effect of them are huge, right? That first half probably could have really easily been 11-4, 10-5 for C9.
Well, let's start on the 10th round here, looking at our first replay. We do have loaded up for you at home. It's looking like an exec here to counter their double op.
So I like this by C9 as Tarek will be heading up to the halls and is going to be tossing some smokes and FBs out there, trying to pull that Z person to come towards the inside area. As you see C9, they're going to be sneaking out over here. Cello's kind of off in a weird spot, and I like the routes that Cloud9 were taking, but Automatic just barely misses that shot. And I think it pulls him back into the round right here. And Sky and C9 are kind of in a weird spot, but I like the overall idea of the strat from Cloud9. It's just the routes and execution was just a little off. I think maybe work on that just a little bit.
Something I saw in that one too is the fact that so C9, let's just say they throw their smokes at 20.
Yeah.
Right. So smokes completely dissipate at 17 to 18, like 100%, nothing else there. You can sort of see through smokes at 14, 15 seconds after they bloom. So they didn't get out ladder until 13 seconds after their bomb train smokes bloomed, right? So that means they only have 3 to 4 seconds left of effective smoke coverage when they exit ladder, which is simply not enough, right? Yeah. So LG using their Molotovs at the correct time. They didn't throw their Molotov right when they see the smokes in the air, right? They threw it like right when the smokes landed. So I think that was a combination of LG using their utility well. C9 had some good paths, but you know, we saw that like jumping backward off the ladder one shot from Nekes onto Automatic and quad. So
I think one thing I forgot to mention is that on that setup by C9, they were in T middle or T spawn. They tossed the smokes, and then instead of going out middle like a lot of teams, they rushed all the way to ladder. And this allows for Luminosity to, toss some nades and stuff. And so by the time that C9 comes all the way around, the Molotovs are gone, and then you see Scott tossing Epics over the wall as they're coming out.
So it could be good or bad.
Yeah,
is what we're saying.
Well, we're going to take a look at round 11, where we can see just a little bit of what happened to kind of send this one the tone it did.
So I actually like this exec a little bit better from C9. This is a little bit more of on that explosive side of smokes are still in the air while we could be taking gun battles, right? Like we see back green, side bomb, top bomb, and they leave this between bomb and red train alley open. Stewie gets a quick entry. He smoke criminals through the smoke, whiffs the spray. Undoubtedly not an easy spray to hit. It seems like Showtime had some of that like super fast movement when you don't expect it. Tarek here is the real blunder, right? If he wanted to make that kill, if that were like a 5v5 situation and that was the entry frag right there, I guarantee you Tarek gets that kill, right? But it was that little bit of high, like greed. I don't know what it was. I don't want to assume the worst, but at the end of the day, he should be getting that kill. And they should be winning this round. This would have been a reset round for Luminosity, who had been double opping for most of the half up until then, so their money was brittle. And then it's 8-3, and then it's 9-3, potentially 10-3, right? So this game, I think this is the pivot point. This round is the pivot round in the game, right? And it could be that whiff onto Showtime, which I don't really blame Stewie for. That looked a little difficult. But that knife kill, I don't know. It's fun to make highlight clips and everything. I kind of understand it, right? He might have thought the round was won, right? He doesn't have all the information we have watching it, 2020 in hindsight. So, yeah.
Well, they did have it almost neck and neck there going towards the middle of the game. But our next replay is going to be round 17, where we do see, I believe it's C9 giving Luminosity a real chance.
So I see right here is a main point. C 2E2Ks inside the bomb train, and Ska was by Z holding the up, or the, not up, but Ska towards top ramp. And as soon as Ska removes his spot, Stewie is in a very bad spot to where upper's not watched, lower's not watched. And so the timing, the communication between Ska and Stewie could have been a lot better, could have avoided a needlessly death. And again, Luminosity actually comes to winning this round. And again, around that, Cloud9 should have won if they played maybe textbook. Okay, if I'm going to reposition Stewie, you need to fall back immediately. You need to hide. You need to do something, not be out in the open of the bomb side, get picked off like that.
Yeah, I also think that having a scout against, potential explosive type strat, which would be a second round force buy, is kind of questionable, right? Like if teams really want to nullify your scout if they have any idea of where it is, which is usually 3 different places on the map, so people have a decent idea where the scout could be. So I would hesitate against buying a scout, right? Because they're basically just going to take so much map control.
Well, LG does make an explosive run in our next 2 rounds. They get back-to-back here, and this one kind of settles it as we go into the later half of this game, and I throw my pin across the desk. Loading up round 23, though.
Yeah, so at this point, Luminosity are feeling the flow. They're riding the carousel. Everything's circular. Everything's feeling good. They're hitting outside fast. There's 1 player left on C9 with 1:35 left on the clock, right? So that's 20 seconds into the round on a full gun round where they have all utility, and there's 1 guy left within 20 seconds. Okay, so there's 2 things there. Super good strat by LG and or mental tilt from C9. Those are the only 2 possibilities I see there, potentially combined.
Well, we see Cloud9 pick up a 16-2 score there in the first game, followed by splitting maps, leaving it 16-11 in the second game, Luminosity picking up Train. And that just about does it for those maps. But have you not being here to see it, head over to youtube.com/ESLCS where you can watch that VOD. And well, you can watch our faces. You can watch many things over there, youtube.com/ESLCS. But if you've never been there, you're never going to know, so head over there right now. And with that being said, we've got 2 more maps for you guys tonight. We're going to be jumping into SK versus the Renegades over on 2. And give me a quick thought here before we go away, Eric.
I think Renegades, you can't sleep on Renegades. SK, I think they just lost a Ghost earlier.
Was that ECS?
I believe I don't know any other league. I'm sorry.
But basically, yeah, all right. You don't need to sell it that hard. Well, you know, we have to talk about relevant stuff in the community. They lost to Ghost, right? 16-3.
Something ridiculous.
Losing to Ghost always feels like a 16-3. Anyway, I didn't actually say that because I've never beat them in League.
Well, a rough day almost, with that L at least that SK's caught. But can they bounce back and grab 2 here? We'll find out when we come back from this break. So make sure you're here with us at the Intel Esports Arena ESL Pro League.